is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, I gotta say, Promise Neverland is never, never, ever probably gonna let us down. This show is just ridiculous, guys. We are in a situation where anytime we see something now, it's probably going to be just drenched in a lot more mystery than we actually know. And knowing that is one of the more uh, entertaining things about this show. It definitely gives it so much personality and so much different things that I want to see come from this show. It only goes to prove the point that there's potential that it can happen. And one of those things I want to see is definitely my boy Ray not get in any more trouble than he's already in. But other than that, excuse me. Other than that, though, seeing the very end kind of has me worried, regardless of everything. So let's get right into the overall episode. It starts off pretty brutal. We see we get right back to where we left off, and we see the sister who pretty much just wants to be a mama, like the head here. She can't even really do that. So it's just like not only did she kind of get hook, line, and sinked, she pretty much didn't even know that she was already like exposed. She didn't know that there was people that pretty much knew everything about it, and then um, the person who didn't help the most was Ray because I'm pretty sure that paper that she was trying to use as evidence to kind of be like, hey, she's not even like stable. She shouldn't be the one working here. Some type of deal like that. I'm pretty sure that's also what kind of, gave her the false pretense that she even had a chance of like getting out of here. She didn't even have a chance. So it just sucks to see that even at the end of the day, pretty much she never had a chance. Like Ray had her beat with the note that she's found or that she was given, and then um, the mama already had her beat because she had a good guess that that's what was going on, and not only did she have that guess, they were working together the whole time. So whatever she ended up doing to Ray, Norman, or Emma, it all like came back to her, because they all told uh, Ray just what would happen. So regardless of her not being there, she still got a lot of information. And speaking of that, she's getting even more cunning because she pretty much figured out that they could seemingly be trying to they could be seemingly trying to kill off um, Norman the next day, seeing how she and when I say she, Mama pretty much knows everything uh, up to this point. So I think the only thing that she doesn't have a clue about right now is what sister has actually tried to put in the background, which was this pretty big chunk of thing, and then the other thing was her pin, or not even her pin, but a pin that she's found when she was listening in onto a conversation that actually like piqued her interest. And after piquing her interest, she went in on that pin, got it, and I'm not sure if they actually um explained out loud what the pin meant, and maybe that's what the other thing next to the pin is for, is to kind of give an open idea for, I'm guessing I think that's Norman's bed. Um, so if Norman gets it, he's just gonna see a pin and he might just think it's a pin, but hopefully whatever that other thing is next to the pin that she left with it is kind of like the explainer or a little bit of a hint to make her understand. And with saying that, she pretty much had faith that they were going to pretty much escape with that type of help. You know, like she pretty much seemingly sounded like they had it in the bag if she gives them this little bit of backup. You know, and I can't really be for sure if that's why she was, seems so confident that they'll like. She's like, you guys better make it out. Like I guess it's not really confidence as much as she's just being optimistic. So it just man, like they did her so dirty. So not only did she pretty much live the life that she was probably, told again and again that she needs to live it this certain way, and this is not how to act, this is how to act, stuff like that. And after all of it said and done, they still just like do you so they first of all you get lied to by the mom. That she's like, you're getting moved to a plant, like she knew all this information somehow of where she's going, how she's getting there, all this stuff. And then come to find out that when she sees the grandma and, they have the little bit of a discussion that she can have before the grandma's just like, alright, whatever. Is she gives her the note and pretty much shows even more of a fact that there's probably someone working side to side with her with that information that somehow the sister just had planted and that it was written on a note. You know what I mean? Like who else would have wrote on a note saying some stuff about a weakness, So clearly the grandma is looking at things that she's probably even done to the girl that is the mom right now. So from what I can tell, this is probably stuff that her, her former kids were trying to do when she was the mama, and then now that she's watching, the new mom do take over, this is pretty much like maybe her ultimate test as well, that she don't even know about, and if she, if any of these people get away, it's all on her at that point. But from what I could tell, this has happened verbatim. With the flashback that we get with the mama seemingly being the person that was on top of the gate, literally looking over, and no way the mom, there's no way the mom should have been able to get up there quick enough to get her. She's literally on top of the wall, and somehow she's just waving her hand like, come back this way, you don't want to jump that way, you should jump this way. And she's like, okay. Like it somehow just works out perfectly fine. And I think that's kind of this weird notion of whenever we're going to continuously get these people and just where their overall narrative is being placed, I think it's going to be a huge explainer towards, when or how they get out and maybe meet some people on the other side. Because as of right now, if there's people on the other side, it doesn't seem like they are going to be able to do much. I mean, as of right now, I only thought there was like certain types of forms of these monsters, but seemingly there's huge ones with ginormously weird tongue things hanging out their mouth, and not to mention the fact that one of them pretty much can take on any of the moms or sisters that have been training, who, they've been getting trained up to this point to go there and do whatever they need to do. And none of that training is going to prepare them to fight these giant things. I had called way back when we even seen the flowers inside of Connie, that was actually the thing that was kind of their tool of killing, or like their way of feeding or something along those lines. It's like by the time they get to a certain age, or by a time that they were like getting smart and their blood was harvesting better or something along those lines, um, that's why when they stick the flowers in you, you have they want you to be a certain everything for them, because once you probably start getting your blood sucked on the flower, that's as good as you were worth. Was a full bloomed flower, a non-full bloom flower, something weird like that. So with the sister, we see that that older people, they could farm older people. I just think it would be a more inconvenient thing for them to try to farm older generations of people that could fight back, or just anything like that. Kids are just, I guess, a lot more easier to control at a younger age when they think the environment is a good one that they're in. So it's pretty messed up, and that's why the show is getting so ridiculous. So let's talk about the two huge major impacts in the video. But Sister Carol just being totally killed off was rough, man. That was rough to watch. They even had to go into like her backstory and show exactly what she's done, and that kind of gives you the information we needed to know about Mama as well, which kind of and not really, because at the same time, I don't think this sister had tried to escape necessarily, and I think she might have heard stories of people who try to escape. Um, but what I'm going with that is they all had the same training to become the same and to get in the same positions. So because of that, it makes me just think that we are going to see a lot of um, what she's capable of, speed wise, strength wise, all that stuff. Because as of right now, we got to see her pretty much break a leg within an instance. So stuff like that is not is not normal. Like, how and why would a woman need to know how to break a leg of children who you know are pretty much supposed to be taken care of and don't need anything to worry about, type of deal? So all of a sudden you're now telling me you know how to break legs as good as you know how to heal people? That's messed up, guys. So she straight up breaks Emma's leg with an instance after, this is way after Sister Carell dies, and we see her whole backstory of why she would even do any of the things she would do or that she's already done. And we kind of get this understanding that she never really had a chance. Like, this is what happens to every single person or every single girl that's in that place that's trying to become a mama. They all don't even have a chance. As soon as they get out of this place, they're just going to get bodied pretty much. So it's clear to me that we're going to probably um, see this mom being, the grandma's supposed working one. She's like, oh, that's my precious pawn. So even at the end of the day, when this girl is doing all these things to these kids, or this mama's doing all these things to these kids, finding their weaknesses, just exploiting them, like their facial expressions, knowing that they've done something, all of these things are really adding up. And as of now, that means the grandma could do it just as well, or even better. So take that as you will, guys. I am the Anime G. I'm going to drop one more video, or two more videos today, so make sure you guys are subscribed with that notification bell on. I was trying to get off Dio's special there, but yeah, the computer hates me. But yeah, overall, man, this show is so freaking terrifying, and knowing that Norman is on the chopping block is so sucky. But at the same time, I think it's the show's indication of we are moving on, and either Norman's coming with us or he's going to die before we can help him. So with Mama showing just how powerful she is, and I think another reason why she takes out Emma this week is because with Norman going tomorrow, That means he would have to make the escape without her because she's so injured. So spot on plays by her. Spot on. So with that, everybody, I hope you have a good day, night, evening, whenever you watch this, and I will talk to you guys in the next one, my anime people. Alright, peace.